Mercutio and Tybalt fought. Mercutio was killed. Romeo saw that his friend was dead. He forgot everything except anger at the man who had killed him. He and Tybalt fought till Tybalt fell dead. Poor Juliet and her young husband met that night. But their meeting was a sad one. They parted with bitter tears, because they could not know when they should meet again. Romeo went to Mantua. Juliet's father wished her to wed a gentleman named Paris. Juliet hurried away to ask Friar Lawrence what she should do. He advised her to pretend to consent, and then he said, "I will give you a draft that will make you seem to be dead for 2 days. They will put you in the vault, thinking you are dead. Before you wake up, Romeo and I will be there to take care of you. Will you do this, or are you afraid?" "I will do it. Talk not to me of fear," said Juliet. She went home and told her father she would marry Paris. Early in the morning, the nurse came to call Juliet, but she would not wake. At last the nurse cried out suddenly, "Alas, help! My lady's dead!" Lady Capulet came running in, and then Lord Capulet, and Lord Paris the bridegroom. There lay Juliet, cold and white and lifeless. All their weeping could not wake her. Meantime, Friar Lawrence had sent a messenger to Mantua with a letter to Romeo telling him of all these things. But the messenger was delayed. He could not go. But ill news travels fast. Romeo's servant heard of her funeral. He hurried to Mantua to tell Romeo how his young wife was dead and lying in the grave. "Is it so?" cried Romeo, heartbroken. "Then I will lie by Juliet's side tonight." He bought himself a poison. He went straight back to Verona. He hastened to the tomb where Juliet was lying. He broke open the door. Suddenly, he heard a voice behind him calling on him to stop. It was the Count Paris. "How dare you come here and disturb the dead bodies of the Capulets?" cried Paris. Poor Romeo, half mad with sorrow, yet tried to answer gently. "You were told," said Paris, "that if you return to Verona, you must die." "I must indeed," said Romeo. "I came here for nothing else. Good, gentle youth, leave me. Oh, go before I do you any harm." Then Paris said, "I defy you and I arrest you as a felon." Romeo, in his anger and despair, drew his sword. They fought, and Paris was killed. Romeo carried the dead man into the tomb. He laid him by Juliet's side. Then he kneeled by Juliet and spoke to her. He held her in his arms. He kissed her cold lips, believing that she was dead. Then he drank the poison. He died beside his sweetheart and wife. The poor Juliet woke out of her sleep to find her husband and her friend both dead beside her. Juliet saw the cup that had held the poison, and since no poison was left for her, she drew her Romeo's dagger and thrust it through her heart. And so, falling with her head on her Romeo's breast, she died. And here ends the story of these faithful and most unhappy lovers. Capulets and Montagues saw all the mischief their wicked quarrel had wrought. They repented of it. Over the bodies of their dead children, they clasped hands at last in friendship and forgiveness.